Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Let's hear salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We'll begin the program shortly. I'll ask for the brothers in the back if you guys can just come to the front. Those of you guys in the chairs, I'm talking to you guys. No, sit in the front. Or the blue, at least. Let's at least sit. I don't expect you to be all the way in the front. Okay. So what night is this again? Third, fourth? Yeah. Sure it's fourth? So we'll begin tonight's recitation, today's program with the recitation of the Holy Quran. I'm going to ask, where is he? Brother Ali Nakvi. You can recite the Quran and we'll begin the program.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات.
Thank you, brother. Let's hear another salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. It might be a little bit easier for people who are going to come after. If you guys can come just here, just open up a little gap there, because it's going to be hard for them to come in the front. Just a little bit. No, you made it worse, actually. Could you? There you go. Okay, good. So, every night we've been, having these recitations of poetry and trying to keep the culture and the customs and the traditions of doing Raza, right? As each day we're getting, at least I'm getting a few emails or text messages about, hey, I want to recite, or my son, can he recite? Tonight we have two people who are reciting. Both of them actually I've actually requested, so it's not like they came to me, I actually requested them. Because again, the idea is to encourage the younger brothers to come to the podium, come to the stage, or whatever you want to call it, and any way that you can to express your feelings in poetry, either in spoken word or if you want to use a little bit some other format of doing it, but do something, right? Great way to do this is write things down at home, right? Because there is a limitation of what there is in English as far as when it comes to poetry about Karbala and the events of Karbala and those. So you may be those pioneers who kind of write these things down. There are, as Bilal knows, there are a few English poets, some of them who are converts who are actually working on this sort of stuff, and they have books that you can get. Some of them are actually I think, on Amazon that you can purchase that are books of poetry. So let's begin the program with Brother Zen Hussain. Are you here? Yeah. Thank you. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala.
Bharati Kanada Salawat.
ऐ क़ज़ा तू ही मिला दे मेरे बाबा से मुझे, ऐ क़ज़ा तू میرے بابا سے مجھے. میں وہ رخسار دکھاؤں گی، میں وہ رخسار دکھاؤں گی جو نیلوں سے بھرے. اے قضا تو ہی ملا دے میرے بابا سے مجھے. بھیا اصغر کو بتاؤں گی جلے خیموں سے، جلے خیموں سے. میں بچاتی رہی جھولے کو، میں بچاتی رہی جھولے کو، تبھی بال جلے. اے قضا تو ہی ملا دے میرے بابا سے مجھے. میں جو دادی سے ملوں گی تو یہی پوچھوں گی، یہی پوچھوں گی. پسلیاں ٹوٹی ہوں جس کی وہ، پسلیاں ٹوٹی ہوں جس کی وہ، بھلا کیسے جیے. اے قضا تو ہی ملا دے میرے بابا سے مجھے. میرے چچا جو ملیں گے تو وہ در دیں گے مجھے، وہ در دیں گے مجھے. پر میں پہنوں گی کہاں اب تو، پر میں پہنوں گی کہاں اب تو میرے کان کٹے. اے قضا تو ہی ملا دے میرے بابا سے مجھے. جون معصومہ کے روزے پہ صبر سے جانا، صبر سے جانا. ہو بھی سکتا ہے کہ چوکھٹ پہ، ہو بھی سکتا ہے کہ چوکھٹ پہ ہمیں موت ملے. اے قضا تو ہی ملا دے میرے بابا سے مجھے. میں وہ رخسار دکھاؤں گی، میں وہ رخسار دکھاؤں گی جو نیلوں سے بھرے. اے قضا تو ہی ملا دے میرے بابا سے مجھے. پر محمد وال محمد صلوات.
The next person we want to invite Brother Jaz. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala.
محمد وال محمد صلی اللہ. کربلا کی فضاؤں میں اب تک ایک دکھیاری ماں کی صدا ہے. فضاؤں میں اب تک ایک دکھیاری ماں کی صدا ہے۔ کربلا تیرے اس ہو کے بن میں لال میرا کہیں کھو گیا ہے۔ اور کس کو میں لال کہہ کے بلاؤں، کس کو سینے سے اپنے لگاؤں، لوڑیاں دے کے کس کو سلاؤں۔ ہائے اصغر میرا کھو گیا ہے۔ کربلا کی فضاؤں میں اب تک ایک دکھیاری ماں کی صدا ہے۔ اور اس قدر یہ زمین تجھ کو بھائی، یاد بھی ماں کی تجھ کو نہ آئی۔ اور اس قدر یہ زمین تجھ کو بھائی، یاد بھی ماں کی تجھ کو نہ آئی۔ دے رہا ہے جو داغے جدائی، بول اصغر میری کیا خطا ہے۔ کربلا کی فضاؤں میں اب تک ایک دکھیاری ماں کی صدا ہے۔ اور تو اگر روٹھ جائے گا جانی، کیسے ہوگی بسر زندگانی۔ اور تو اگر روٹھ جائے گا جانی، کیسے ہوگی بسر زندگانی۔ اب نہیں پاس کوئی نشانی، تیرا جھولا بھی اب جل چکا ہے۔ اور ہے نہ قاسم نہ عباس و اکبر، لوٹ کے تو بھی آیا نہ اصغر۔ اور ہے نہ قاسم نہ عباس و اکبر، कर तू भी आया न असग़र हो गए हक पे कुर्बान सरवर हाय जीने में अब क्या मज़ा है करबला की फ़िज़ाओं में अब तक एक दुखियारी माँ की सदा है और मोहम्मद वाल मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु
Here on the salawat, Allah salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I have a quick announcement as soon as I can bring it up. In the meantime, for the brothers in the back, and one's here, can we fill up this area here? Because Moana is going to be coming and he needs room to walk here too, so he's behind you. No, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. A little bit more. Okay, good. Thank you. So, Moana sent me a message last night, and I had no idea what he was talking about. He said, so the message was, do you know what Slido is? Anyone knows what that is? No? Okay, I'm not the only one. It's a way to interact and ask questions, especially if you have questions about the topic. And it's a good way to, again, for the Mulana to see the feedback directly and also be able to answer those questions. So if you have your phones with you, I know most of you guys do because we didn't take them away this time. If you go to slido.com, once you're there, let me know. I'll give you the ID number to type in. The ID is 583-1727. I'll say it again. 583-1727. Anyone have, who's able to get in? Okay, most people, okay, good. That way, in today's lecture or the previous lectures, if you have any questions, you can actually obviously post them. And I think, Maulana, you'll probably explain more how you want that to happen, right? Okay. All right, great. Let's hear a salawat again. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Okay, great. Thank you. So, tonight's program, alhamdulillah, we had a recitation of, couple of recitations this time, which is great, wonderful. I want to see more of that, inshallah. We all want to see more of that. And also, I've been asked, not just by, the folks here, but also from upstairs, if there was also, you guys, we can also do Noha as well. I don't have anyone today for Noha, unless someone wants to do one after the program. But starting tomorrow, maybe we can also incorporate that into the program, and then we'll have a full, complete majalis, right? Inshallah. Let's hear another salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Okay, I now invite Maulana Hujjatul Islam, Raza, Baqar, Rizvi. Ya Ali.
Please recite a salawat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الحسين بن علي عليه السلام ماذا وجد من فقدك ومن الذي فقد من وجدك صلوات. All praise to Allah that He gave us another opportunity to sit down for the fourth night of Muharram and commemorate the Shahada of the best person, one of the best persons we have. But when he is on the time of his Shahada, he was the best person on the earth. He's still our Imam, but we have our Imam Zamana as well. And they're all the same level, with Imam Ali being the Abul Aimma. So, this is only the tawfiq of Allah that we get the chance to come in the middle of the week in this country and in this state where you have to work a lot to make ends meet. But this is the ishq and this is the love of Imam Hussain which actually brings you here. MashaAllah, the brothers are doing a lot of work. They're probably, just like I gave him the zahmat of Slido last night. He's getting all those zahmat every day, but he's doing a really brilliant job about this. And similarly, all of you are doing your part. So, one of my teachers said that whenever things like this happen, you're not entitled to thank anyone. So I'm not going to thank him. He shouldn't be thanking me either. Why? Because he's not doing it for me. I'm not doing it for him. We're all doing it for Imam Hussain. And you know this, probably my children don't know that, but inshallah, most of the people know this story that Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain were going towards Makkah, probably for Hajj or Umrah, and they got thirsty and hungry, and then they found a woman with a shepherd woman in the middle of the desert, and she gave them some milk and some food, and then Imam asked her to come back to Medina, and we are gonna give you something similar. We want to thank you. And then you know the story that she gave just one meal probably and some milk to drink for 1 or 2 times, that's it. And Imam gave like hundreds of the goats and stuff. So when Imam Hussain thank you, he thanks like this. And remember when we were talking about this, that we are under the dome of Imam Hussain? And this is one of my teachers, like the teachers we go to the durus of. He said that it is in a hadith, in a hadith that the dome of Imam Hussain called Qubba in Arabic. So it is recommended that you go there and ask for the hajat, because when you ask for the hajat, they're gonna get accepted. So he connected that Qubba to this majlis. So when you come for the majlis of Imam Hussain, it's like under the dome of Imam Hussain in his haram. You ask for anything and inshallah it'll be accepted. And not only accepted, he is gonna give, he is Karim ibn Karim. You give him one kasa, one bowl of milk, and he gives you, hundreds of goats. You take his name one time, he's gonna be remembering you, inshallah, on the day of Mahshar, 100 times. Where is that Mashiach who was coming here reciting something, just sitting, listening to my dhikr, trying to understand what I said, trying to understand what I did? And inshallah, we have this hope, and this hope is not from the, in vain. It's not from out of the blue. We have the support of ahadith on this kind of raja, kind of hope. Please recite another salawat. So without making any much more delays, inshallah, we're gonna jump into our topic. The topic was about what? What was the topic? Please recite salawat. Here you go. What was the topic? Okay. Okay. That's fine. Please recite another salawat. So the title is a little bit big, but the main thing is this, that we are discussing here insan, right? What we are discussing here? Insan. So it is the class of Imam Hussein where we are trying to learn about insan, about ourselves. That as an insan, not as a Raza, Baqar, Rizvi, not as Ali, not brother Falan and Falan. As an insan, what is my position in this world, right? And we want to learn it through the lens of Karbala, meaning through the lens of Imam Hussein. So in this discussion is a little bit of recap, please bear with me. We discussed that there was a khutbah when Imam Ali talked about the condition of the human beings or the people of Mecca before Islam. And then we compared it to the position or the station of or status of people, the Muslims, not only Muslims, but the ulama of Muslims, the scholars of Muslims in a Muslim ummah under the Taghut named Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. And when we compared these two conditions of people, they were kind of similar. They were the same. So after that, I've been told, and I asked, mashallah, this Slido thing, inshallah, if we can, I don't know if we have a WhatsApp group or something, if you can send the details there so people would know. And I'll probably write the details there, how do you want to ask questions, feel free. It has to be related with the topic, not like this, that, Mona, please find a good wife for me because I cannot do it right now. So ask your mothers and sisters there. Related to the topic. So ask those questions. If you have a comment, that's good. If you have a suggestions, I'll welcome it, inshallah. But inshallah, I'm going to give the details to Brother early, and he can give it to you, brothers and sisters, later on. So we were talking about this, and then from that discussion, so yeah, I was talking about this, that I have been told that my yesterday's majlis was kind of, like I just gave you a really, really harsh picture of what's going to happen to you. They have this lung diagrams on the pack of cigarettes, that if you smoke, that's what's going to happen to your lung. So that was the point yesterday. But I'm not selling cigarettes here. I'm that kind of a guy that if you do this, you'll go to a surgery, na'udhu billah. I'm not that kind of a guy that you show that and then you sell the same thing. So your lungs would become worse. So that was a stepping thing that we step on that, and inshallah we pass that and we learn something from that and go forward. So we talked about the diagnosis, the problems of the society at the time of Imam Hussein, right? So why did we talk about that? Because Imam gave the solution of that problem as well. When Imam Hussein is Misbahul Huda, when he is the lamp of Hidayat, of guidance, then he's saying that you are in darkness and here where you have to go. So alhamdulillah, we have the whole package. A doctor comes to you and says, brother, you have these problems and you're gonna die soon. And you say, oh, what can you do? He says, I don't know, I cannot do anything. I don't even know how to cure corona, right? So you say, okay, doctor, then inshallah, I'll see you later. Imam is not like this. Imam goes there, he says, okay, these are the problems, these are the diseases. I have diagnosed these diseases in your society, but I have the solution for that as well. What was the solution of Imam Hussein? Imam's solution was Amr bil Maruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. So I'll read from Imam's Zaban, because we are sitting in front of Imam Hussein. He's talking to us. I'm just a wasila. Just like this mic is a wasila for me to take my voice to you, brothers. I'm kind of a wasila to take the Imam's voice to you, brothers and sisters. Please recite the salawat. So probably I didn't write it here. The same khutbah when he was telling the ulama that that's what you guys are doing, that you are not moving a bit when you see that the Islam is being trampled under the hoofs or under the feet of people, and you are indifferent to everything. Imam says, God mentions the duty of enjoining the good and the forbidding the evil, al-amr bil ma'ruf wa nahy anil munkar, before all other duties. Because he knows that if it is performed and it is established in the society, all other duties, the easy and the difficult will also become established. So, I don't know how accurate the translation is, but it's a good translation. Because the words which are being used here is really, really good. The establishment of a system. Amr bil ma'ruf wa nahy anil munkar is important. Why? Because if you do that, then you establish a system through which all the things can happen the right way. Where is he saying there, these words? In Mina. When? After Hajj, or during the rituals of Hajj. To all the Muslims. To the Muslims who are so religious that they spend so much money and came to Hajj, and not like living in a Hilton hotel for 5-star packages. No. Traveling from Kufa, Basra, different places, even Syria, on camels in the desert to perform this ibadah. He's saying, if you don't establish Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar, nothing is going to be established, right? That's what he's saying, right? When you say that if you establish that, everything else is established, which means if you don't establish that, nothing is going to establish. And that what was happening, right, at that time. The rituals were there, the Hajj was there, the masajid were there, Namaz al-Shab was there, but there was no Islam. It was lost. Now, why this khutbah and this part of khutbah is related to and how it is related to our topic? If you remember, we were talking about this, that if you have a problem, a cause of trouble in your root, and if you keep, fixing the branches, that's not going to work. You have to uproot that problem and implant a new thing. And that's what I'm trying to do here. Let's see, inshallah, will we reach. Please recite salawat. Don't worry, I'm not uprooting any problem right now. I'm just giving the suggestions of that. You say that Maulana came from Qum, is uprooting everything in Shah-E-Najaf. No, it's not going to happen. It doesn't happen like this. It doesn't happen overnight, brothers and sisters. First of all, you have to have idea, right? I was talking to my brother there, the other brother who came from Boston. I said, whenever you start something, you have to have a theory and idea. Even if you start a journey, you have vacation, you wanna drive to Florida. I don't know why, but you do want to go to Florida, drive there. But you have to have a map. You need to know how to go there. You need to have the wasila of that. So these discussions are the initiation of changing that pivotal, basic changes in our society. Changing the pillars. Maybe our society has been established on diseased roots. That's why we have a young, really good brother, a really good insan, but a really bad Muslim. And vice versa. A really good Muslim performing all the salah and a really bad insan. A Fir'aun in his own house. The kids and the wife are just scared of her. Well, it goes other way too, right? In Pakistan, the kids and wives were afraid of the husbands. Now, mashallah, we are all equal. Please recite salawat. So when you have problems like this, you need to know how to fix it. It's actually a true story. I was talking to someone, and he said, well, I'll just say it because it was so funny. And he was a religious person too, to inshallah, to some extent. He said, no, he's a really nice person. He's a normal guy. He's not that religious. Sometimes the sentences come out of our mouth which we actually are living with. And I'm not saying that that person is wrong. Probably he's right. Maybe an uncle like me who is religious, he thinks, oh man, you don't know how to do wuzu, you don't know how to read namaz, you don't know how to do this, do that. We have seen these characters. Inshallah, we are not like this, right? I went to a masjid and one brother came, a little bit older brother, when I was a kid, not here, inshallah, not in these communities. He said, Maulana, ask them, do they know Zarat-e-Warasa? I memorized it. I said, Baba, it's good for you. It's good for you. If they didn't memorize it, if this kid doesn't know it, teach him. The same Imam Hussain and Imam Hassan, the same Imam Hussain when he's talking about Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar, how did he teach how to perform the right wuzu to an older guy in Masjid Nabawi? Everybody knows this story. If my children don't know it, I'll tell you. Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain were there in Masjid Nabawi at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. An old person came and he didn't know how to perform wudu. And as a Muslim, as a person who cares about other Muslims, Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain thought that we need to teach him. But saying it right out that, uncle, you are doing it wrong, well, that's not right, right? You have to be gentle, especially when we're teaching to someone. So what did they do? Imam Hassan said, okay, brother, I'm doing wuzu, or probably Imam Hussain said, brother, I'm doing wuzu. You see if my wuzu is right or not. So you know this story, right? That's how he taught this person. And that older uncle, he didn't say that my nani used to do wuzu like this, so I'm going to do the wuzu like this. I don't care about you. He said, thank you very much. Thanks for teaching me. I mean, Baba, the society of Medina is not in our ruya, in our khayal, in our dreams. We can make it like this right here. Step by step. Step by step. Small things. If I see Bad Hijab sister on Facebook, I should be crying from inside. Not saying, see? My daughter's hijab is perfect. Look at his daughter. That's not Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. That's shaitaniyat. That's comparison. Just like we compare our clothes. Just like, not us, materialistic people, compare their cars. We want to compare our religiosity. What's the difference? There's no difference, right? If I'm slipping to the same tone I had last night, recite a louder salawat. The salawat is never louder here, so I don't know if I'm slipping there or not. Please recite another salawat. So inshallah, I won't slip there. Let's continue. Another diagnosis Imam made was what? And I think this is the time when he was going for Karbala. I don't know the specific time when he said it, but it is the same year. And he said, An-nasu abidud dunya. That was another diagnosis Imam made of the problems of Muslim Ummah at the time of Muawiyah or Yazid. He talked about Muawiyah and Yazid, right? But most of the time when you see the focus of Imam was Ummah. لإصلاح الأمة أمة جدي. He was concerned about Ummah because he knew when this Yazid died, another Yazid is going to come. Yazid after Yazid came for 250 years in the time of all of our Imams, all of our 11 Imams. They were all Yazid. Whether they killed Imam Hussain like this or they made Imam Raza their, wazir or something. They were all Yazid. They wanted to just cut imamat and the concept of imamah out from the ummah. So Imam's diagnosis for the ummah, the problem of the ummah, just like when a mother is concerned about her son or daughter that they got, sick, he said, An-nasu abidud dunya. He's not pinpointing, he's not pointing fingers at Ummah. He's saying this is the problem. What does it mean? An-nas. Oh, not Muslims. That's why we are talking about insan shanasi. Not Muslims. Forget about Muslim, Christian, and all these things. And when we, inshallah, in Masai, we are going to discuss few ashab of Imam. You see, the Karbala is the movement of insaniya, of insan, not Muslims, not Shias. We cannot own Imam like this. Imam is the Imam of Kainat, the whole world and beyond. An-nasu abidud dunya. What abid is? You have heard of abd, right? What abd is? A slave. What is abid? Abid is a smaller slave. A slave who has no say. Imam didn't say an-nasu abdud dunya. He's saying an-nasu abidud dunya. The people around us, they became so low for dunya that they're not even up, they're not even slave. They're the slaves of the slave. And when people become like this, that's what happens, right? Imam is going alone and they don't even care. There's in Tariq, in history, there were so prominent names in Islamic Ummah, Muslim Ummah. They heard Imam Hussain got Shah-E, and he said, in my own, modern language, he said, oh well. That's what he said. A person who knew Prophet, who knew who Imam Hussain was, they had the ma'arifah because they were intelligent, they were scholars, they were practicing Muslims. But when they heard Imam Hussain was killed like this, he said, oh, okay. But brothers, it can happen to all of us, right? If I slip there, please take me out from there. Just to make a diagnosis, it can happen to us. Why? Because when Imam is saying an-nasu abidud dunya, I am taking it now. It is kind of like my thing here, which I have to connect it to my discussion here. Why are they abidud dunya? Why? Because in Kufa, people were scared of Ibn Ziyad. Yeah, that could be possible. Muawiyah was giving gold, kilos and tons of gold coins, if you join him. He was like this. Now, that could be understood too. But if you go to the root cause there, because they forgot what nas means. They forgot what insan means. They forgot the position in front of Allah. If I see, I'm not gonna say youth, a person like me, probably older than me or younger than me, who is living two lives, who is a moment in the masjid and someone else in a park or on a beach, then he doesn't know who he is or she is. We're not born for that. Our status is really high, brothers and sisters. We shouldn't sell ourselves for some small lazzat. Just because I want to eat a really good steak, which halal people don't know how to make it, I'll leave Islam. Because I like the puri made by a Hindu, and Islam says, no, they're najis, don't eat it. I say, okay, then I don't believe in this God. What kind of a God is that? I cannot eat puri. We're selling our iman for a steak and halwa puri. Now we're abid, right? Then we're abid. I write something else and then some other things come in my mind and I think they are more relevant and I go on to that. Please recite a salawat. But this is a really important point related to our topic. So you remember this story, right? When Imam Ali was sitting in the member of Kufa and he was saying, Saluni, saluni, qabla tafqaduni. Like, ask me before you lose me or lost me. Somebody stood up and said, oh Imam, how many hair do I have on my head? Do we know this story? I think we do, right? Raise your hands who know this story. MashaAllah. Only 3 people. No, 4 people. No, everybody knows. You guys are really shy. I thought I was shy. I never went to any public speaking class or anything. And you can see that from my speeches. I don't know how to speak. But I'm still not shy. So who heard that story? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 8. Inshallah. Inshallah. Well, I guess we can do something with that. This person who asked this, you know who was he? He was Umar Saad's father. Umar Saad's father. Saad bin Abi Waqas. A really big champion of Islam, conquered Iran. He was asking this question. And why was he asking this question? Na'udhu billah, to mock Imam Ali. But in the beginning, you know what? He's one of those people who sided with Imam at the time of Saqifa. You know what Saqifa is, right? When they made Khalifa instead of Imam Ali. He sided with Imam Ali. Now in Kufa, at the time of Imam's Khilafat, he's making na'udhu billah, fun of Imam. And the answer of Imam was so awesome. He said, in each and every hair of your head and in your beard, there's one shaitan. And Umar Saad was small, walking like this, and he said that this goat you have in your house is going to kill my Hussein. You're testing the ilm of Imam. He's going to tell you what's going to happen to your nasl. He is that. You're testing his ilm. Why did I mention this story? This person was a good person in the beginning. Remember when we were talking about Hazrat Hur, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open windows and the doors and give us opportunities to change ourselves. If we have already changed, to grow ourselves in our insaniya. If we don't take this opportunity, then shaitan comes and opens the doors and the windows. So we lose our insaniya, become like shaitan. It's up to us. Which doorbell we answer to? Please recite another salawat. Please recite another salawat. Now one more hadith from Imam Hussain, and then we are gonna kind of enter the real discussion, which will be dry, but inshallah bear with me. Not today, probably definitely in coming days. So Imam says in one hadith, O people, Allah has created. He's talking about why we are being created. First he said, An-nasu abidu dunya. Then he's giving that, why were you created? Understand who you are, right? O people, Allah has created people so they will know Him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when they know Allah, they worship Him. And when they worship Him, they will be free from worshipping others. Apparently, they're really sade, mantiqi, logical things. Allah Ta'ala has created us to do what? Worship Him. And when we worship Him, we don't worship others. It's as simple as that. But you see that right now, Muslim Ummah, oh, Hajj is so awesome. Right? everything, the masajid are like, you know, you go to a masjid, we have like kind of a thing here too, Nauzubillah, Shia communities as well, that you know that masjid is 1 million masjid. There is 1.5 million masjid. This is, what kind of a rat race in masajid is this? You know, when they made Masjid al-Nabawi, it didn't even have the saqf, the roof. Now see the Masjid al-Nabawi, they have gold, real gold plated things in the masjid. Which is more beneficial in your idea, in your thinking? The Masjid al-Nabawi at the time of Rasulullah or the Masjid al-Nabawi today? Which masjid is more active in helping Muslims and Muslim Ummah? $1 million masjid doesn't make any difference, brothers and sisters. You and me makes this the difference. You and me. Imam Zaman is not waiting for $10 million masjid, Nauzubillah, so he can go and reside there. He's waiting for you and me, for this kid who is coming for 4 days, probably going to other majalis as well, sleeping less. They need this. So, coming back to our discussion, now when we say worship, what does worship means here, right? Definitely when Imam is saying that all the other worships were being done. The worship here, again, if you connect it to the other hadiths we were talking about, the system of worship of Allah. The system, the ilahi system. Allah has created insan as his khalifa, vicegerent, so he can establish the rule of Allah on this earth. You and me do that, we are insan. We don't do that, we are not insan. We could be something else, but we are not insan. Right? When you say, if you give the definition of insan or human, what's the definition of human here? Which is in istilah. I searched it a little bit, I didn't find it in really good dictionaries like that. But something like this, that bipedal, primate, mammal. That's the definition, right? Or bipedal. A primate, like a monkey, mammal, another species, who can stand on his 2 legs. That's the definition of insan, the scientific definition. So the scientific definition, I'm not against science, please don't say these things. And if you have to say these things, say it in Slido before you post it somewhere else. So I can clear myself. We believe in scientific advancements. I use Amazon Prime, don't worry about that. So I'm with you. Please recite a salawat. Unless they have sweatshops, they probably have sweatshops in other countries. I don't know. So that's how far science can go to define human being. Okay, come to a better philosophical way. What insan is a social animal. Initially, he's animal, but he's in society. He lives in groups, so he has to wear clothes. Otherwise, innately, he's a monkey. We wear clothes because right now, the societal norms ask us to wear clothes. Tomorrow they don't ask us to do that, then, And that's what they are trying to do here. Because if these norms, if these morals, if these principles are man-made, they can be amended and changed anytime. My problem is like my audience is, mashallah, from probably 4 years old to 40 or more than that. So I don't know, I have to censor a few things. I don't know how to censor it. Please recite salawat. It makes us end up with a society which we can say that everything which feels good to you, you can do. Any shape and form of a family, for example, a family structure. You could have a family with a dog, right? And the other ones. If I go there and people come and say, Maulana, is it haram? It's like this. Is it a psychological problem? Is it like, that thing? Baba, the answers are not here. The answers are somewhere else. How did they come? How did this problem, came here? How did it come? Because insan has forgotten himself. When he defined himself as a more educated animal, then he's an animal. But don't get me wrong. Does it mean that insan doesn't have a side of animalistic side? Of course he has. So I'll give this last definition of Ayatollah Jawad Amali, and then inshallah I'm going to do Masaya. Please recite salawat. So Ayatollah Jawad Amali, well, in philosophy, I'm going to use this term in Farsi and Arabic. They define insan as havan and natiq. Havan, animal. Natiq means an animal who can communicate, like who can talk elaborately, not communicate like with voices, because other animals can do that too. Or nutq means a thinking animal who can have deep thinking. So that's a philosophical definition of insan as well. Ayatollah Jawad Amli said, no, he is insan natiq Qurani. You're insan. You have animalistic side, keep it. Allah Ta'ala has given it to you. You have to fulfill it. We have rules and regulations and, stories and ahadith about this. Kulu washrabu wala tusrifu. Quran says that. Eat and drink, but just don't do israf. Israf doesn't mean just to throw food away. Israf means that in the limits. Shah-E limits. Don't eat a baby because you think that it rejuvenate your skin. It's not happening right now, I'm just saying. Again, giving you a really bad image of a lung cancer, small cell cancer of lung. It might happen tomorrow, right? Because the train we have taken, the path we have taken, is going to go deep, deep, deep down in the hellfire. And it is going there. If this is not hellfire, then I don't know what else it is. So, insan and natiq Qurani, what does it mean? An insan and natiq, an intelligent, animal who can read Quran, who has Quran in his house, so he can take out when his loved one dies and read it, only in Arabic, so he can get sawab. Nothing to understand, just to get sawab. That insan? No. Qurani means, what Quran is, brothers and sisters? This is a word of Allah. This is a connection of Allah to his makhluqat, to insan. So the meaning is, if I am an intelligent animal, I'm going to say animal a little bit because, an intelligent person who is connected to Allah and wahi, then he is insan. If I'm not connected to Allah, when you go to Hajj, after Hajj, on the airport, they give the Quran for free, right? But it doesn't minimize their animalistic nature of that, that particular family. They're animals. They kill Muslims. I'm talking about Saudis. They kill Muslims like, something else, like goats. It doesn't minimize your animalistic nature, your hayvani nature. The hayvani who doesn't see anything else but his own benefit. So, hayvani natiq Qurani is a person who is connected to Allah, brothers and sisters. So inshallah, we're gonna stop here and then continue this discussion in a little bit more deeper ways, because I see, mashallah, when you're not reading salawat louder, it means you're thinking a lot. So I can see that these faces, a lot of things are going on in their head. That's why we have Slido, so I would know what is going on in their head, inshallah, about this discussion and nothing about something else. So inshallah, we are going to go deeper into this discussion. Sallallahu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. I've been asked to do some masai for it was written that Ashab of Imam Hussein. So usually the masai of Ashab, or like probably in this days, the Sahabi which is chosen is Zuhair ibn Qayn. And few other ulama or other people choose the other Ashab. I'll do, inshallah, if I get the chance, do at least 2 Ashab. First of all, the Zuhair ibn Qayn, and I chose these 2 because there are a lot of lessons in their life history. So Zuhair ibn Qayn, if you see his history, he was Uthmani. Who was Uthmani? Those people after the qatl of the third Khalifa, Uthman, they thought that for some reason Imam Ali was involved in it, na'udhu billah, and they said that they were against Imam Ali and Imam Hassan, Imam Hussain, Ahl Bayt, and they were sided with the Uthman. Till the time when he was coming back to Kufa with Imam Hussain, and they were in the Hajj together, but he was coming back towards Kufa and Imam was going there too. But we have heard that he was pitching his tent where Imam's tent was not near close to him. That is so strange, brothers and sisters. I mean, that must be, he knew because of propaganda or something that Imam Ali had to do something with that, the killing of Uthman, the third caliph. But from inside his heart, he was connected to some level with Imam Hussain. So when people ask me sometimes, and I didn't ask my asatid, that when Imam Zaman is going to come, inshallah, how am I going to recognize him? Don't worry about the facial features. You can make a lot of facial features like this, like Imam Zaman, which are written in the hadith. If my inner self is linked to any level with Imam Zaman, inshallah, I'll be there. That's the first lesson we get from Zuhair's life. To some level, he had this love of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. So long story short, Imam is Imam, right? So he was hunting people like this. He didn't need 20,000 soldiers, 40,000 soldiers. He wanted pure people for Karbala. Because he knew the Karbala has to survive till the end of times. So he handpicked these people. That's what it looks like, brothers and sisters. Inshallah, we ask Imam to handpick us as well. If Zuhair had a small flame of love of Imam Hussain, and Imam Hussain took his hand, we ask Imam Hussain to take our hand too, inshallah. So one time Imam sent someone and said, Zuhair, you have to come and see me. The wife of Zuhair said, I'm not going to go. The wife of Zuhair said, whatever it is, he's the Farzand Rasul. He's a grandson of Prophet. Brothers, we talked about adab, right? These adab, we talked about the adab of Hur. How did he respected Imam Hussain? This respect of the wife of Zuhair helped Zuhair to become Shaheed Karbala. Zuhair went there, it's written there, that he went there and came back quickly. And so happy. Before he was perplexed, confused. When he came back from Imam Hussein's meeting, he was really happy. Why was he happy? He said, you know what? My wife, I give you talaq, which is We can discuss. It was not a right thing to do, but again, he said, I don't even want you. I don't take all of my money. He was a wealthy person. Go back to your Kufa, start your new life. I am going somewhere else. Hussein has chose me. I'm handpicked by Hussein. My destination is something else. The other Sahabi I'm going to talk about, inshallah, for a few minutes was Wahab Kalbi. This Zuhair was Muslim, but not the lover of Imam, not the classic Shia of Imam, but Imam took him. Wahab Kalbi was a Christian. You know how Imam picked him? Close to the Kufa, when he was stopped to go to Kufa, he saw a tent. He went there himself. He said, who is living here? Wahab's mother was there. He said, like, I live with my young son who just got married and my daughter-in-law here in this tent. He said, Imam said, when he comes back, and she said, he's not here right now. He said, when he comes back, tell him that Hussein came to see him. And this small family of one old woman, Christian, one young person, Christian, and his wife went to Karbala. Converted to Islam, and he was like Zuhair, trying to get to the battlefield and get killed and kill the killers of Imam Hussein. And this two sentences of Masaib, when the love of Imam sparked this flame is like this, brothers and sisters. This person was recently married. He goes there, get killed, get beheaded, and his head was thrown towards his mother. His mother cleaned his head, kissed it, to show, of course, I love him. And then threw it away back to those people that I have given my son for Hussein. I'm not going to take it back. I would say, oh mother of Wahab, congratulations that you got the chance to see the severed head and kiss it. I don't know what Imam Sajjad was thinking when the severed head of Imam Hussein was on the platter and Yazid was, na'udhu playing with it. Hussein.
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, jab mujhe aapke qaatil ne hai mara baba, jab mujhe aapke qaatil ne hai mara baba, jab mujhe aapke qaatil ne hai mara हर तमाचे पे सकीना ने पुकारा बाबा जब मुझे आप के कातिल लेते हैं मारा बाबा जब मुझे आप के कातिल लेते हैं मारा बाबा मुझे बालों से पकड़ कर है तमाचे मारे मुझे बालों से पकड़ कर है तमाचे मारे میں نے سر شمر سے مانگا جو تمہارا بابا، جب مجھے آپ کے قاتل نے ہے مارا بابا، جب مجھے پہ کے قاتل نے ہے مارا بابا، وہ جو درڑو اپنے تحفے میں مجھے بخشے تھے، وہ جو درڑو اپنے تحفے میں مجھے بخشے تھے، ان کو بے دردی سے ظالم نے اتارا بابا، جب مجھے آپ کے قاتل تھے ہے مارا بابا، جب مجھے آپ کے مارا بابا، آپ کے سینے پہ آرام سے سونے والی، آپ کے سینے پہ آرام سے سونے والی، سو کے اب کاک پہ کرتی ہے گزارا بابا، جب مجھے آپ کے قاتل تھے ہے مارا بابا۔ یا حسین، تھینک یو۔
بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم۔ اللہم کل ولیک الحجۃ الاسد صراطک علیہم وعلی آبائے فی ہذہ الساعة وفی کل ساعة ولیہ وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودلیلا وعینا حتی تسکنہ وارزقاتہ وتمتعوا فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين۔ نعرہ حیدری۔